Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. We're back with the third video on distributed computing. In the last couple of videos, we talked about what distributed computing is, its advantages, its disadvantages. Again, distributed computing is same as distributed database, so please do not worry if you see distributed database and think it's something else. Don't worry, it's the same thing. So we discussed about its advantages, its disadvantages. Then we talked about why traditional databases are being exposed to some problems and issues, and what are the solutions, which is distributed databases. Then we talked about the design approach that we can take to make sure that the databases are efficiently considered, which included steps of dividing the database into partitions and etc. So please look into my previous video so you have this basic understanding, as I will carry on from there as well. And please like and subscribe, and let's begin. This is another concept which is very important when we're dealing with distributed database, which is internet addressing. IP address is very important. You must have heard that this computer has this IP address, this laptop has this IP address. What is an IP address? This is something I felt like everyone should know when we're trying to deal with distributed computing, and it's basically one of the core concepts of distributed computing. So I thought about writing an entire lecture on it. So what is internet addressing? Is basically referring to the system of assigning unique numerical addresses that are connected to the internet. When you're connected to the internet, what the internet needs to know is what kind of information is being sent or received when we're trying to deal with your system. So hence your system is given a specific numerical address, so that apologies, so that the internet or the servers can actually access this kind of data and know where this kind of data came from. IP addresses are of two types. One of them is IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 are 32-bit numbers which are represented in dotted decimal notations, while IPv6 are 128-bit numbers represented in hexadecimal notation. If you are a person who uses computer a lot, you must have heard these terms. You must have heard IPv4, IPv6, but sometimes people don't know about it. What I felt like this is a very important concept, and which is why I wrote it in this lecture. So now you know what IPv4 is. Now you know the basic difference between IPv6. I've also written some example about each one of these systems. So as you can see, the example of IPv4 is 192.168.1.1, which is a dotted decimal notation, and just keep in mind it's 32-bit, while IPv6 is 64-bit, and it's not noted in decimal, but it's basically in hexadecimal notation. The example is too big to read, so I will not read that, but please look into this. Alright, we keep on moving with IP addresses, and you must realize that every single IP address is unique. And so if your computer has an IP address, there is no way any other computer is going to have that same IP address. And whichever device is connected to the internet, just remember it has its own IP address as compared to other devices, even if you are accessing the same information. IP addresses are managed by the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, which allocates blocks of addresses to a regional industry internet registries for distribution to internet service providers. Basically, these three are the main basically the companies that are handling these kind of issues, which are distribution of IP addresses. What it does is basically these Internet Assigned Number Authority provide this data internet these numbers to companies such as HP, Dell, where they distribute it to your specific internet service provider, which could be anything around the world. And yeah, so this is basically the main concept. Then we've got the basic concept of our internet is that it's adapted around the world, and it's a key factor in growth. Next, we've got low-level communication using UDP. UDP is User Datagram Protocol, which is a communication method that enables data to be transmitted over a network without overhead of a dedicated connection. UDP is a connectionless program, so it basically means there's no established connection. Hence, the data is very much faster. UDP packets are basically called datagrams, which contain a source IP address, a destination IP address, and a data being transmitted. This is basically the theory part. And in interviews of distributed computing, when you're trying to apply for a job, these kind of questions are asked. What is UDP packets? What are datagrams? So I'm just wrote this down here. Please look into it. Pause the video, and you can read this all by yourself. Again, these are some implementations of the same information system, such as domain name system and the other. So that's it for today, everyone. Thank you for watching. and take these notes down. Keep reading, try to keep yourself updated. Please like and subscribe to my channel as well, because I'm working really hard in these videos, and I'll continue to these making these kind of videos till we have completed this course. And yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.